Just a quick weekend update. Um, Talked to Mia this morning. She's doing a lot better up here because her daughter is doing a lot better. So she's coming back around to her old self. So she kind of surprised me and said that she's going to get her shit together and she's going to be coming up here shortly to help me with this project this weekend. So, um, yay, I got some help. So, uh, that should be very advantageous because I got another project that I think I can put her on um, underneath the deck out here. The skirting is missing; it's gone from under the deck, and I don't have any skirting to put in its place. Not only that, I think the way they attach the deck to the building, I can't even put skirting in there if I wanted to. So I need to custom build a rodent screen that goes across that whole opening. There's well, it's the width of the deck, basically. Dang, I don't know if I have enough material. Um, I need to build a rodent screen that goes across that opening to keep the critters who will be able to get under the deck through the lattice, the mice and the rats and whatever. Um, and I don't have rats. I need to clear something up here. I don't have rats in this park because this park is a pigsty. There's some parks in town that have rats in them, but that's because the tenants that are in that park are slobs and the place is filthy. So, of course, rats come where there's filth. That's not the case here. I'm out in the country. I'm surrounded by farm fields, corn, wheat, all kinds of stuff. So, rats are a normal animal that's found in nature. So I'm smack dab in the middle of a food source for these critters, and they're bound to stray in here, just wandering around because they're curious, and they're here. Nothing I can do about it. So I have rodent stations, poison stations, set up around the perimeter of the building as a perimeter defense to thwart their attempts to try to come into this building and look for nesting habitat or food or whatever. That's doing a pretty good job. You saw that by one of the other videos with that mouse. Um, but they're here just because of the environment. So I have to set up a defense system so they don't get in here with me. And this big wide opening underneath this building where the deck um, is just a big garage door for them to just crawl under the building and then crawl up one of those foundation blocks like you saw the mouse trying to do. Um, Find a wire, find a pipe, find a hole, chew its way through the insulation, and get into the building. That I am not going to tolerate. So I need to build this custom screen that goes all the way across that opening that will allow airflow, but will keep out the critters. So I might put Mia on that project. And it might necessitate having to go into town here and get some materials because I don't think I have what I need to do that. Uh, but yeah, I'm just going to take a big section of that closed mesh metal screen, build a wooden frame around it, and dig a trench in the ground down about, oh, I don't know, 3-4 inches because, rodents like to tunnel. Um, and inset it and put it in there just to keep them from the underside of the building. So I might put her on that project so I can get that out of my head while I'm working on the insulation project. But good news, Mentally, she's doing a lot better because her daughter's doing a lot better. Um, Update on the daughter. They pulled her out of the coma. She's groggy, of course, but she was able to communicate to family through FaceTime. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel for her. And that's 100% attributed to the outstanding medical attention that she has received. Um, so, yeah, good news. So, she's going to be on her way up here shortly. We should be able to knock some stuff out. I'm going to try to refrain from the flirty banter. So, in case certain people are watching and they feel like they have been replaced, they don't get peach hurt. Clown. Um, and yeah, I'm jacked. We're gonna get some stuff done. So she'll be here. She'll be able to. Another thing she'll be able to help me do is I took my winter beater in. I said I don't drive the Jeep in the winter. I took the winter beater in to town and had it worked on because I don't have a shop anymore. Everything this garage did, I could have done myself in my shop. Don't have a shop. It's all sitting in storage. What options do I have? Now, this winter beater I've had for years. Dang near maybe 8 years. 6. It's totally paid off. It's a darn good truck. I got amazing tires on it for winter. Um, and what's the point in replacing it, right? It runs good. I've done a lot of work on the engine. It runs good, but it is old, and it's a '02, and it's falling apart, of course, like they all do. But it's still reliable and dependable. So that being said, I take it to the garage because I didn't have brakes. They were going right to the floor. And I didn't have steering. I had to strong arm steer it. I thought I lost my power steering. So the boys put it up on the lift. They look at things. Turns out the front brakes were gone. And I just replaced them, I thought. The right side brake caliper, the bolts were stripped out. I don't think I did that. And the caliper was just flopping loose on the rotor. The pads were gone. The rear brakes, the rear axle seal, the outer seal on the axle has a leak, and oil had leaked into the drum and had gotten on the pads and glazed the pads so bad that they weren't doing, they were just slipping. There was air in the lines. It was a shit show. So they fixed all that. They put new rotors, calipers, brake pads on the front, got that all gussied up. They took apart the rear hubs, drums, cleaned all the grease out of there and all the oil, discovered that the pads were fine, buttoned that all back up, bled all the air out of the lines. The steering issue was actually nothing to do with the power steering. It was actually the steering shaft that goes from the steering wheel down to the steering box. There's a universal joint in there, and that universal joint had all rusted out and corroded and seized up and would not articulate when you were turning the wheel. So they put a new steering shaft in. Damn near a $700 bill. So, like I said, I would have done all this in my own shop. But I don't have a shop. So, times have changed. So, I have not put a lot of money into this truck over the years because I've done, as far as labor, because I've done all the work myself, just parts. And I've done some major engine work on the engine. Head gaskets went out. I put new head gaskets in, did that all myself. That was a big job. The timing chains and gears and tensioners went to hell, and I totally took that all apart. I had to basically rip the whole front of the truck off and the whole front of the engine off to do that. So I've put money into it as far as parts go, but no labor, no payment for labor. So I can justify sticking $600 and some into this truck. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than buying another vehicle and then inheriting somebody else's problems and not being able to trust it. I know what I have in this truck. I know how this truck is. I know how it behaves. It just seems like a fiscally more responsible thing to do. So that's sitting at the shop. It's done. I took out a quick cash loan in the summer to pay my back due property taxes for my place up north and my membership dues for my place up north, because the ex-wife had let that slide and I was in arrears. Surprise, surprise, surprise. So I had to get that cleared up, or that property was going to go into foreclosure. And I didn't want to lose it. So I took out a quick cash loan to pay that off, and took out enough in anticipation of having this truck worked on. So it's done. The money's in the savings. It came out to a little bit more than what I anticipated it would cost. So now I got to pony up an extra $80 or so out of my paycheck to get it. But Mia will be here, so she can give me a ride up to the repair shop so that I can pay the bill and bring the thing home. So yeah, we've looks like it's going to be a nice day out. It's clear, the sun's out, so we're going to knock some stuff out today, and I'm pretty jacked. So that's just an update on what's going on. If she feels like being videoed, I'll video her, but I gotta behave. I can't be goofy and flirty and everything. It's all professional and business. Okay. So yeah, I guess we'll talk to you soon.